26 exam 2 recursion financial modelling answers. Ken opened a savings account to save for a new caravan, and it is modelled by this recurrence relation here. VO is 15,000. The next term equals 1.04 times the current term. How much money did Ken initially deposit? Initial VO, so 15,000. Use recursion to write down calculations that show that the amount of money in Ken's savings account after 2 years is 16,224. So you cannot use 16,224 in your working out, and show that means show the working out. So we know VO is 15,000. To get V1, it is 1.04 times the previous value, which is 15,600. V2 is 1.04 times the previous, which equals 16224. So the working out, this is what we need to see here. What is the annual percentage compound interest rate for the savings? So our annual rate, capital R, is 1 plus R over 100. And R was 1.04. So that's going to be 4%, our answer. The amount of money in the account after n years can also be determined using a rule. Okay, so we want to go from recurrence to the rule. So you know that the rule is Vn equals R to the capital N times VO. So my R, we already have that, 1.04. And we already have our initial 15,000. How much money will Kevin have after 10 years? So we just sub it in. 1.04 to the power of 10 times 15,000. Put that in our calculator. And remember, 203.66427. You must always write finance answers correct to 2 decimal places because it's money. So 66 cents. Ken's first caravan had a purchase price of 38,000. After 8 years, the value of the caravan was 16,000. Show that the average depreciation, the value of the caravan was 2780. So we're talking about flat rate average, and it's a show that question. So we have to work out how much depreciated. 38,000 minus 16,000 equals 22,000. And 22,000, this was over 8 years. So if I do 22,000 divided by 8, that will give me 2750. So you could write it like that. That would be fine, or you could have written it in one step. 38,000 minus 16,000 over 8. Okay, it's the working out they want to see. Let Cn be the value of the caravan n years after it was purchased. Assume that the value of the caravan has been depreciated using the flat rate method of depreciation. Write down the recurrence relation in the terms of Cn plus 1. Please use the letter that is required. Remember, the first part of a recurrence relation is the rule. So C initial equals 38,000. The next value equals the current value minus 2750. Okay, if you forgot one of the parts, then you would have got no marks. If you change the letters, for example, if you used C here, V here, and then back to C here, that's no marks. So please use the letters that's said in the question. The caravan has travelled an average of 5,000 kilometres in each of the 8 years since it was purchased. Assume that it's depreciated using unit cost. How much has the caravan reduced each kilometre? Right, 5,000 for 8 years. So I'm going to work out how many kilometres it's depreciated first of all. So 40,000 kilometres. It's the amount it depreciated. I already worked that out earlier, but I'll just do it again. 38,000 minus 16,000 equals 22,000. So in 8 years, it depreciated 22,000 and it went travelled 40,000 kilometres. So to work how much it is, I'm going to do the price divided by how much it had travelled, which will give me that answer. So we've got to make sure we understand, we tell our marker we know what we're talking about. So depreciation per kilometre. They're just looking for this answer here. So remember, highlight your answer. Next question. Ken has borrowed $70,000 to buy a new caravan. He will be charged interest at a rate of 6.9% per annum, compounded monthly. For the first 12 months, Ken will make monthly repayments. As soon as I see something like this, monthly per annum, making repayments, straight away I'm just going to say, all right, I'm up to my finance solver questions. Okay, so I know I'm going to use NI, PV, PMT, future value, and PPY, CPY. Just fill them in. It's a 1-mark question. They're only looking for the answer, but good to write our working out. So my interest, 6.9. It's monthly, so I know that's 12. Find the amount that Ken will owe on his loan. So I want to find his future value after 12 repayments. So I know it's monthly, 12 repayments, so N is 12. My present value, how much he borrowed? He borrowed 70,000. Now, is that a positive or negative? He borrowed it from the bank, so it goes in his pocket with positive. His monthly repayments are 800. So his payments are coming out of his pocket into the bank. So that is negative. Put that in, and I'm going to find my future value. I just need to write my answer over here. I don't need to write a negative or positive. It's a money. So my future value is $65,076.22. Highlight your answer for your marker. What is the total interest he's paid after 12 repayments? So I have to work out how much he has paid in the 12 months, how much went towards principal reduction, and how much was interest. So he's got total paid, and of that, some of it reduced the principal. Okay, so this loan will go down, plus some of it paid interest. And I have to work out how much went to interest. So first of all, I'm going to work total paid. So the total amount paid was $800 per month. So $9,600. I need to work out how much was the principal reduction, and I've got the information for that. It was originally $70,000 the loan, and from my answer in question part A there, I know that it's now 65076.22, which equals 4923.78. So to get my interest, I'm going to do my interest will be how much I paid, 9,600. My principal reduction was 4923.78. So that will equal 4676 and 22 cents. When you've got lots of working out, highlight your answer for your marker. After 3 years, Ken will make a lump sum payment in order to reduce the balance of his loan. This lump sum payment will ensure that Ken's loan is fully repaid in a further 3 years. Ken's repayments stay the same, his interest rate stays the same, it's still compounding monthly. What is the value of Ken's lump sum payment? All right, usually our last question in finance, it's usually a 2-mark question because you have to do 2 steps. So in the first 3 years, let's see what's happening here. Because it says after 3 years. Okay, so I'm going to work out how much he still needs to pay after the first 3 years. So my N, 3 times 12, 36. Oh no, this is the same. Still borrowed 70,000. He's still paying off 800. Future value is what I want to find out. So I put that in the calculator. And my future value, so how much he still owes after 3 years, is 54,151.60. In the final 3 years, because he pays a lump sum, and then he's going to pay it off in another 3 years. So the next 3 years, I'll call it. I have to work out how much he needs to put a lump sum, so it'll come to 0. So 3 years, again, this is going to be 36. My interest rate doesn't change in the question. The amount he pays off doesn't pay in the question. My future value, I want it to be 0, and it's still monthly. So I want to find out how much it needed to be. So I put that in, and I get my PV equals 947.58. So he has this much at the end of the first 3 years. He puts in a lump sum, and his amount has to be this much to get it to 0 in another 3 years' time. So to work out the lump sum, I do 54,151.60 minus 25,947.68. Put that in my calculator, and the answer was 28,204.02. I hope that helped you with the answers.